Hello everyone, Jason Lady here. Welcome back to another Sims 4 video. Today we are going over the base game and burglar update from yesterday. I'm a day late. I know I was out of town yesterday. I got to play around with it just the tiniest bit yesterday, so you'll see some of that footage. But mostly we just go through the blog posts on the website and kind of talk about all the different things you'll see. I don't want to take too much time up introducing the video because it's kind of a longer one already as it is, so let's just get straight into it. The burglar is back in Stolen Shakeups in The Sims 4. So this is a lot to read. It does do a good job at going over burglars and some of the ways in which they work. Her name is Robin Banks, if you're lucky enough to get the burglar, by the way. I was not, and a lot of other people were not as well, but you can get any sim as a burglar, just know that. But the burglar is Robin Banks. The burglar will only sneak in at night, and not only if your Sims are asleep, but they could come in if your Sims are awake as well. You can deter her by having an alarm. You can upgrade the alarm to call the police, or you have to call them yourself otherwise. The police are not guaranteed to show up quickly if you have to call them yourself. If you upgrade the alarm system to call them automatically, they will show up quickly, pretty much immediately is what I'm gathering here. But the alarm can do other things with upgrading as well. You can also fight her or whoever your burglar is. I only recommend it if your sim has a high level fitness skill, because things could probably go very wrong otherwise. And then there are some fun cross-pack compatibilities here. Dogs can chase the burglar away, werewolves can intimidate the burglar, spellcasters can cast spells, including confusion spells and transformation spells. Servos can zap the burglar, scientists can use the freeze ray to immobilize them, and vampires will, of course, take advantage of the late night free food delivery and have a little snack. Even Sims without superpowers, so your regular Sims, will have reactions as well, obviously. Teenagers might stop and take a selfie, assuming this is tied to like outgoing traits and things like that. Sims who are not outgoing or who tend to be more afraid of things probably will not do this. So that I'm guessing that that is tied to those things. Characters like Agnes and Bonehilda will fight, that makes sense. But there are 50 unique reactions across the base game and 17 different packs. That's a lot of packs. That is a tremendous amount of packs. So yeah, I mean, I would assume that some packs would not have any specific reactions tied to them because there wouldn't need to be, like get to work, get together, and then other smaller packs like my first pet stuff or laundry day stuff. Those are not gonna elicit unique reactions because there's no one and nothing there to react, if that makes sense. But I could see some of the reactions coming from horses, potentially, or ghosts, potentially. Both of the paranormal stuff, ghosts and sprite things, but also the life and death, ghosts and sprites and stuff. Now, burglar visits are rare. I don't know how rare is. Maybe it will be like a 10% chance, kind of like it is now with Vlad. Vlad, when vampires first came out, he pretty much showed up every single time you started a new sim or sim family or save file. He was pretty much there every single time within the first week, using your sim as a snack. They have since reduced that, and I believe someone said it's like a 10% chance now that Vlad will show up within the first however many days that you've started up a new save file. This is probably very similar to that. The burglars will be incredibly rare. You can increase that chance by having the new lot type Heist Havoc, which I personally would have rather have had them code it for lower priced lots and lots with fewer objects to maybe not get burglars at all ever, but then higher priced lots and lots with expensive things or a lot of objects on them would maybe get them more frequently, like 10% of the time. This kind of feels like, I guess, a compromise. Burglars will be very rare, maybe again that 10% chance or whatever, but you can increase the likelihood of it happening, obviously, with the new lot type, which means that you could use that lot type on your higher end mansions and things, and you are more likely to get a burglar once a burglar has come to your house and has been scared away or arrested or whatever by the police. They're not going to come back. You're not going to get a burglar again for a very long time. And we'll see that in the footage I took yesterday. So it takes the rare chance and makes it even more rare once it's happened. But I can also tell you that with the lot type, it doesn't happen very often either. So I guess this would be a like nice compromise. The other thing that having that on your lot affects is that alarms might not work properly. So that's something to take into consideration too. So here's the burglar alarm. It is a little like trailer video you can watch if you go to the website. You do not need businesses and hobbies. Obviously, this was a free update from yesterday. It's new, like you get new music and things like that. There's the new lot challenge, but also the burglar is basically the same. So if you've ever played with the burglar in the previous games, which quite frankly, I do not remember the burglar from The Sims 3 at all. I didn't even realize there was one, I guess. I vaguely remember the burglar from the original Sims and The Sims 2. So for me, it feels like it's been a very long time since there's been a burglar, but from what little I remember and what little I've seen so far, basically works the same, the way you would expect a burglar to work. Not much has changed except the new lot challenge, which makes them more frequent. Obviously, police officers are returning. You can have burglars on residential lots and small business venues. My question is it only small business venues that are on residential lots? And is it only those residential lots and regular residential lots, or is it also residential rental lots as well? Those are my questions. How does all of that stuff work together? It says only small business venues, so my guess is restaurants, anything that's not owned by your sim, like spas, libraries, museums, bars, things like that, will not have burglars on them. Retail spaces from Get to Work will not have burglars on them. But yeah, it's just that question of whether residential rentals count, and do vacation rentals count? Will a burglar show up to those as well? And is it just the small business venue that's on your home lot? Or because you can also buy a small business venue separate from your lot, very much like Get to Work and the retail lots, can they show up to those lots as well if you're there at night? It goes on to say they will not steal most build objects, and they specifically call out plants that are planted in the ground. That makes sense. Windows, that makes sense, and along with that, probably doors and stuff as well. You know, anything that a burglar in real life most likely would not steal. Like your kitchen cabinets, I don't think they would steal those. But you know, it also goes on to mention lights and elevators. Lights, I did not consider to be part of build mode. I thought those were part of buy mode. But maybe specifically they will not steal ceiling lights, but they might steal candles or lamps. Or maybe they just don't steal lighting at all, period. But then they also mention elevators. Why mention elevators? Elevators are not something that we really use. If we bulldoze a penthouse apartment or whatever, if we have city living or whatever, yeah, we might have to place the elevators back. But that's not really something that we use a lot, or is like a major feature in the game. So why call out elevators specifically? Why not call out stairs or something at ladders, or you know, like pool ladders or pool, I don't know, something else? Why specifically elevators? Why are they calling out elevators? That kind of leads me to believe that someday in the future we might get actual elevators that are truly usable on any lot by our Sims. But I don't know. Why call out elevators specifically? I don't know, that's weird. But also the lights thing is weird, because I would think they would steal lamps, but maybe not ceiling lights? I don't know. And then of course robbing banks or whatever burglar you get works just as any other NPC. As long as they're not in your household or a household in the world, they are a full-on NPC. They operate as an NPC. But the minute you befriend them and move them into a household, they are no longer an NPC. They're just a regular character, either one of your active characters or a townie character. And then a new NPC burglar will spawn in their place. Kind of like the maid or the firefighters. Once you move them in with you or put them on a lot, they are no longer in those job roles. They're just regular Sims. But then we got some new tattoo things. The menu has changed on how and where you can place them. Now, we'll see in a minute the footage that I took without the new pack that's coming out. There isn't a lot listed in some of these, and there are a few that are a little weird. They show up weirdly in this menu, but there is this new menu with the ability to change your tattoos, like brightness and all that kind of stuff there. Also, tattoos are now available on the gallery for when the new expansion pack comes out and people create their own custom art tattoos. And then they have added 2 new sweatshirts here. This actually comes up under jackets, but this one comes up under sweatshirts. 2 new clothing items here, and then 4, possibly more. Possibly more, because I saw a couple of other swatches, which you'll see here in a minute, that I did not recognize. But this base game kitchen also got some new swatches for the countertops and the cupboards and stuff as well. And then Get Together got a little bit of a refresh, a minor refresh, adding activities for clubs from other packs, like Horse Ranch and Laundry Day stuff, seasons. So that's pretty nice. These are the ones they mention here. I'm sure there are other cross-pack compatible activities that have been added as well. These are just the ones that they mentioned. So yeah, Get Together got a little bit of a refresh. And they've overhauled mentorship. Now, I thought mentorship came with Parenthood, but maybe I'm wrong. But they have added skills and things that your sim can sort of teach other sims. And I thought that mentorship was something that was already in the game that your sims could do. It's just with the new pack, they can get paid to do it, so they kind of work as a tutor in a way. And there are perks associated with it if you have the new pack. But yeah, they have given the mentorship sort of interactions and whatnot a little bit of a refresh as well. And then they have added a silly thing that I don't understand the point of, honestly, where your sim is at. So if you're in the game playing and you go to travel, your sim's icon will show up on whatever world your sim is currently located in, if that makes sense. Then they announced 2 new creator kits coming very soon, and this plant right here is something that I have been waiting for all 25 years of the game for. We have never had a plant that hangs down like that, so far like that. I have been waiting forever for that. You have no idea how much I've been wanting plants like that. I hope we get more in the future now that we have one. Some of these outfits look kind of cute too, so I'm excited to see what these 2 packs are and bring. Those are custom content creators packs, so those will be coming in April. And then there's a bunch of bug fixes. But if you're looking to get rid of weather inside your homes, don't expect it with this update because it did not come. There are, however, a ton of other bug fixes, and you can check those out on the website. Okay, so here you can see that I'm kind of showing you where the cupboards are, or the countertops, I guess, and going over the different swatches. Now, it's easy to tell that the ones on the far left are all the old ones. I think all of the second column are old ones too. It's when you get to the third column that it's like, are these ones new or do I just not remember them? Like this one I remember. I remember that being in the game. And this one as well, but that might actually be one of the new ones. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can see from this video both of the old and the new ones. I put some of the old swatches out there as well, so you can see all of them together. Usually with the build mode, I don't have quite this much problem telling between old and new, but this one I really did because they are kind of very similar. There's only a couple here in the new swatches that are very, very different, and you can only see it in certain situations, like using the tall pantry cabinets, for instance, is where you really notice the real differences, other than obviously more wood tops available, maybe? I don't know. You let me know which ones you think are the truly new ones. These blue ones are definitely not new. We've been seeing those since 2014. But I guess I just never really pay much attention to these counters and what options they give. I do mostly just use the white swatch, which I think is this swatch right here. So, yeah. Sorry, not much help with that one. But here you can really see the differences. This is most definitely a new swatch here. This is most definitely a new swatch here. This one is. It's these ones here that kind of threw me off a little bit because I remember this one, but I don't remember that top cream and white one at all. So yeah, that's what threw me off a little bit. And I still think that cream and white one is a new option. It just looks new, and then of course some of the wood ones are obviously new as well. Then we got some new sweatshirts, which took me a while to find because this one, which took me longer than it should have. But this one shows up readily, easily, male, female, under sweatshirts like it should, and you can see all the different colors there that are available for that sweatshirt. It does work on masculine and feminine frames. It was this next sweatshirt that took me some time to find because it looks like a sweatshirt, and I'm like, okay, well, I found this one again. So why can't I find the other one? Because there are zip-up hoodies and other types of hoodies and stuff in this category. So to me, it should be in the sweatshirt category. I ended up looking around for quite a while. And even though I did find it here, it turns out it's actually under jackets, not sweatshirts, which is kind of weird to me. If anything, I feel like it should be in both sweatshirts and jackets. Here I am trying to figure out exactly what category it came from, and I just started going through all the available categories until I found it listed. And then you can see all the different swatches available. So, I mean, I get it because I wear a sweatshirt as a jacket too, but it should also show up in the sweatshirt section, if you ask me. It should be both, honestly. But yeah, anyways, those are all the color options for that. And then we have the new tattoo stuff. So here's the new menu up here. And you can see the different tattoos that show up in the different menus here. The one thing I was confused about is that there are a couple of lower arm tattoos right here that show up in the upper arm section. And because they're on the lower arm but show up in the upper arm section, you can actually layer those tattoos there. But there aren't many options, so it doesn't really matter right now. Until you get the new pack, or unless you get the new pack and make and have access to other tattoos. But it just kind of works like the tattoos have always worked. You know, you have the various different places. Some of them don't even have tattoos available in them currently, but you have the various different places where you can stick tattoos. The new thing is that you can kind of change the color and the brightness and all of that of tattoos. So you can take a tattoo that is green and make it black, or take a pink tattoo and make it blue, you know. You can make it darker, you can make it lighter, you can do all of those things with your tattoos with the base game update. This is not dependent on the new pack. And then here, of course, is my sim getting burglarized for the first time, which was kind of funny, but also my sim didn't do anything. She didn't have any kind of new reaction or anything. if anything, her reaction was tied only to her gloomy trait, and she had a sad reaction maybe to being woken up by the alarm or whatever, and she just went back to bed to cry it out while the burglar stood there freaking out about the alarm and then turned around and left. My sim didn't do anything, the burglar didn't do anything, and the alarm shut off on its own after a few seconds. So there you have it. That's what I'm thinking. That's what the update included. That's where my kind of thought process is with all of this stuff and what I've been able to see in the game so far. What have you seen in the game of the burglar so far? What reactions have your Sims had? Mine had none. She only had the sad reaction from being a gloomy Sim, and I assume being woken up, like I said. But I don't know that for sure. I don't think that that sad reaction had anything to do with the burglar at all. So I'm a little disappointed that my sim didn't really have much of a reaction, but I'm gonna keep playing and see what other things we can get. But anyways, on that note, if you are enjoying these videos, if you're enjoying my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember that my gallery ID is jsim_lady. I feel like people probably have a hard time finding my gallery page because it's different from literally everything else. I've tried several times to get rid of the underscore and the system won't let me. It says that JSim Lady without the underscore is already being used, but I can't actually find another user with that name, so I don't know. I might talk to EA about that, but in the meantime, don't forget that if you're looking for my builds or anything, it is JSim_lady. I'm going to be adding that little bit of information to the end of my videos from now on so people are more aware of that. And also I do have a creator code, which is basically an affiliate code. I do make a small percentage on some sales of Sims packs. If you would like to use my creator code, it's just JSimLady, all caps. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye!